What's going on? Welcome to my next video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a drawing challenge. And for this drawing challenge, I'm going to be drawing poses, but with a continuous line, meaning I'm using the line and I'm keeping the line on the page, or keeping the pen on the page without taking the pen and hand off the paper at all. So I'm kind of just going to be moving the line across and trying to find ways to maneuver around the figure to keep the line from kind of going all crazy. Now, if you want to check out some of the tools that I'm using, and also the program that I'm using, Figurosity, for where I'm getting the poses from, you can click and check out the links below. Also, don't forget to leave a like and also comment so that I can put out a lot more good content. Now, for this pose, you can see I'm kind of following the reference here, and I'm trying to find all the big shapes, and I'm focusing on the big shapes. And I know the picture is, or the video is kind of sped up, but it's taking me quite some time to get through this because I'm keeping the hand on the paper and trying to, it's a hard time trying to keep the hand from going off the paper and trying to keep my hand from taking the pen off the paper, because I'm trying to keep the line continuous and I'm following in the long continuous line. And I'm trying to just focus on where the big shapes are, and where I see the big shape, I'll just move my hand in that direction and try to form the figure. It's also it's kind of hard you doing this, because you're basically focusing on making the figure, and you're focusing on keeping the hand on the paper, and your brain is working in all these different directions. So it's kind of a real good challenge. And also, when you're keeping your hand on the paper, it seems like the poses are coming out a little more dynamic for some reason. And not sure what the reason is for that, but it could also be for the fact that your hand is constantly there, and you're constantly looking for the direction of where the pose is going to go, and getting those dynamic lines in. So right now I'm getting the arm, and I'm putting the arm in to kind of, so that I can know where that is first as I'm doing the rest of the pose. And I'm just getting, and I usually do the head first before I get into the body, and then start putting in the legs. And I didn't really focus on too much on making cylinders this time. I think I did a little bit of cylinders for some of them, but I'm just trying to get the general shapes in. And I have a few poses like the one I'm doing right now, which is kind of in a more of a foreshortened type of way. For some reason, the foreshortened pose is coming out pretty good, especially when you're using one line. I'm going across, and I'm kind of using that technique where, rather than having a line go crazy across, I'm just taking the line and re-going over previous lines to kind of like, it's kind of like a trail to lead into a different area, rather than having the line actually go through the picture. And right now I'm doing like a muscular brute. And with this particular one, since he has so much muscle on him, I'm trying to make all the muscles on his body like kind of like bubbles. That way it's easier to start forming muscles within those bubbles, since it's only mainly for just drawing as reference and practice. So I'm just getting those muscles in there. If I was doing this with pencil, then you can kind of just go over, do a one line thing with the pencil, and then use a rubber eraser to lighten the pencils, and then go over it and start adding details. So it's kind of a way of also structuring the form before finalizing and adding details to it. So right now I'm adding in the legs. This is a really foreshortened picture. The legs, like he's running, he's throwing that fist. There's one fist in the back that's kind of going back in perspective, and the other one is coming out bigger. Getting in the shoulder lines for the muscles, and the arms, the forearms. Now for this one, another foreshortened one. believe I had a lot more female poses in this one, because I wanted to focus on doing a lot more female poses. You see me do a lot of male poses, so I'm trying to like switch it up a little bit. But right now, with this muscle brute, I'm putting in those arm details. I'm trying to find the shape of the chest, and as long as you get the big shape in, the big shapes will help you determine on how to add the small shapes. So once you get the big shapes in, your mind will say, okay, well, now I know how to add the small shapes in, and you automatically will just start throwing the small shapes in there. So right now, the knees in perspective, so it's kind of, or foreshortened, so I do that in there first, and then add that back leg. Adding that forearm with his fist, not getting too detailed with it. It's just a drawing challenge using one line. And if you're using one line and you're going through the pictures, it's not easy to mess. It's not hard to mess up. You're just flowing with it. Adding one line and drawing a picture, and just keep dragging your hand across with the pen and forming to make that figure or object or whatever you're drawing. Now for this next one, starting again with the head, I'm kind of just dragging the pen around, working my way down the rest of the body. I guess it's kind of like an easy method, starting from the head, and you're kind of just working your way down, forming the rest of the figure. Getting the arm in. And it's probably not showing it in the video, but it was taking me some time figuring out where to move my hand at to form the figure without lifting my hand up. I'm trying to find the shape of this. This was kind of a challenging pose, but challenging poses are always the best ways to get better faster. If you want to get better, then choose the more challenging poses. Don't do the easy poses. The easy poses you can throw down. If you can throw the pose out super fast with the easy pose, and just pick a hard pose. But it takes time to figure out how to do it, and then when you actually get the pose down, then you've already gotten better because you figured out a challenging position. I'm working the hands, getting that back leg in there, so kind of going into the background, following my line across the little black racetrack that I formed to get to the other side of the figure. I'm working on my next pose. Getting the head in, that's my base, forming the rest of the body. And with this one, the shoulder is kind of going down, so I'm always make those balls for the shoulder. It's kind of an easier way of showing where the shoulder is going to go and where the arm is going to go. Getting the forearm in, the fingers. Getting the rest of the torso in. Since the torso is kind of going back, I'm trying to figure that line out. Adding the leg. Bring the other leg up. Just doing a little kicking stretch. It's like I'm following it, and then I'm not following it because I'm trying to I'm kind of just flowing with it, just putting it out. And I'm going to do a lot more drawing challenge videos in the future, and this is probably another line drawing challenge also, keeping the line on the paper and drawing a more complex type of image. But if you like this content and want to see more content, just don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe also. All right, take care.